Today, I want to change things up just a little bit. This is a message that I believe can be applied to absolutely every single person in this room. Society often tells us that to have some sort of value, people need to know exactly who you are. There are certain positions in this world that are not front-facing, but are just as, or even in some cases, more important than those that live in the limelight. Those roles I call the invisible hand. In most occasions, what is seen as the number 2 role seems like the role with the lesser value. Today, we're going to turn that concept upside down and on its head. In the saying that says, many hands make light work, there is truth. For some, that comes from a front-facing position, whilst others, the role is what we do in the background. These people are usually those who don't get the acknowledgement deserved for their role in some of the biggest moments in this world, but are dedicated to laying foundations, actioning plans, and working with some of your favorite individuals in the public eye. I like to see the settings that we work in as one entire body. No matter what you do, we work as one body. The importance of your spine is much bigger than we give credit to, right? It controls your nervous system, which allows you to touch and feel, which connects your brain, but also it gives you stability and allows you to move, right? Many a times, we admire the outer works and the bodies of our cars, but it's the specs of the engine that actually give value to the vehicle itself. The engine has no external value, but its function and importance cannot be denied. I founded a sports management company, the Mailroom. My job is to help others better themselves and navigate through their careers in sports. So, for a long time, I've been interested in those that work the clogs from behind the scenes, not really so much the people in the front. And many of us today, if I was to mention, if you know who Steve Wozniak is, most people wouldn't have a clue. But he co-founded Apple, the world's largest technology company. But we will know who Steve Jobs is. Without Steve Wozniak, there is no Steve Jobs. Or how about Jay-Z? Through the height of his early success in his career, it was Dame Dash who managed him and navigated him through the music industry. Nowadays, most people champion Jay-Z for his business-savvy decisions, but fail to recognize the role the team behind him played. Okay, how about LeBron James? LeBron James doesn't reach billionaire status without his sports agent, Rich Paul, or his business manager, Maverick Carter, who manages his investment portfolio and his commercial partnerships. Extremely important people, but don't have front-facing jobs. Okay, one last one. How about someone that is personal to us? Stonebwoy, for instance. We all know his name, but how about Casey, his manager? Just a young brother that's helping him to navigate his way through the music industry. Again, someone who plays the background. What if there were no executive assistants to the CEOs? Who would organize and schedule their diaries? A manager is only as strong as the team around them. In today's world, we are all fighting for positions and for attention. Fighting for the right to be heard, fighting to be successful. Just look at social media. No matter how it looks, the world is so much bigger than the internet. So don't go looking for validation there. Because I'm telling you, trust me, I've tried and I've failed many times. At one point, I was also one of those people fighting for visibility. But I had to have a long talk with myself about why I wanted to be known personally. And what was the purpose? Well, for me, being known wasn't paying me, so it definitely couldn't have been that. I could only pinpoint it down to one thing, and that was that I was looking towards others to give me a stamp of approval. I was hoping that others would praise me to help me feel better about myself and my self-worth and everything that I contributed to the world. The truth is, most people want to be celebrated for many reasons. For me personally, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I used to wrestle with not being recognized for the work that I would create until one day unintentionally, I stepped into a role that actually allowed me to play the background. It was never intentional. I help others to fulfill their dreams. I slowly realized that after years of fighting for a position in life, I finally found one. There are people who need someone to help them achieve their dreams, and that in itself is an extremely important role. No longer was I seeking for external gratification, but my happiness came from a place from understanding where I fit in and how I exercised my strengths, relationships, and my personal abilities. Like I said in the beginning, the spine not only gives support, but connects your nervous system. Without the sun and the rain, the flowers and plants wouldn't be able to grow and blossom. What role do each one of you guys play in life, right? We all love the look of those blossomed flowers, but overlook the importance the birds and the bees, the rain, the sun play in the whole process. My role is to help individuals and brands create a voice, reach new audiences, and build value. I guess most would call me the man behind the brand. I started my sports management agency because of lack of representation where I'm from, and a lack of proactiveness when it came to those in positions of expression behind those athletes. Usually, sporting talent from black and brown backgrounds are perceived in such a negative light. There are no systems that help them to gain mass exposure whilst keeping control of a narrative that shows them in their truest forms, create extra streams of revenue, and push their off-field passions and bring them to life. The problem is, everybody wants to be the athlete. And now, if that's a skill of yours, that's absolutely fine. We're not here to tear that down. That's absolutely fine. You can play the front position, right? But living in your passion and feeling fulfilled can be achieved in so many other forms. My clients would tell you one thing they've probably all heard me say at once upon a time is, let me be your eyes, your hands, and your feet. They don't have the time capacity, or in some cases, know how to navigate outside of their sports. So it's myself and my team's job to get behind the scenes and give them the structure that they need as the experts to fill those positions that pave the way during and after their careers. I asked a question today. How do you view yourself? Do you see what you do as insufficient? For a fact, every single person in this room, no matter what you do, is part of a bigger picture. Somewhere down the line, if you're taken out of the picture, something stops working or doesn't work as efficiently due to your role that you play within a system. We have to start changing the mindset of how we are and who we are and how we view what we do. It's not uncommon for music artists, athletes, and those in significant places to occasionally thank those who have made their successes possible, because they too realize that it wouldn't be possible to run their journey without the people that are around them, their whole team. It takes many hands to make things work. The real power is in understanding the value that each and every one of you guys add. Your value is not determined by the standards others put on you, but when you realize that you are a key instrument to the orchestra, you will respect your position a whole lot more. Drums on their own may not seem so impactful, but when paired with other instruments and played within an orchestra, their impact and contribution is felt. When you leave this room today, or you finish hearing me ramble on for about 10 minutes, think about the bigger picture and what that looks like for you. This isn't just about those in the background, but for those who also are the front runners. Those invisible hands around you, how do they help you to empower you in the world that you are creating? No man or woman is an island. Start to look at the power of each individual around you and the part that they have in creating the world that is around you. Thank you very much. My name's Kenny Annan-Jonathan. Thank you.